Good morning, everybody. I was just watching my Wi-Fi go in and out. So let's send some love to the Wi-Fi system, wherever yours and mine, so we can stay connected. Connected this morning. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Kathleen and Lori and Ellen. Beautiful synergy. Yeah, I want you to think in terms of synergy. Well, you think whatever you want, but maybe not even think. Let's just use our heart space and feel and feel. Feel what this morning has in store for you, my dears. You, the extraordinary. Yeah. You know, each of us has a story upon story. Each of us has such a complex mind, synapses and and I mean, how many lifetimes have we had? How many experiences have we had on this 3D HD heavy delusion planet Earth, right? It's impossible to try to figure it out. So maybe the best approach when we see each other come on this line, and we see each other most regularly, if you come on this line, is to be in awe and wonder of this soul in disguise as this human being with all that I just said. You can't even begin to grasp the experiences we've all had. So maybe the best case scenario is to just look like with x-ray eye vision, like if your single eye at your spiritual eye was just one eye, and you just looked into the uniqueness of somebody. Let's look into the extraordinariness of Ricardo, the extraordinariness of Marty and Lori and Lisa and Jim Clark and Kathleen and Cami. Just the extraordinary. That's going to be our stream this morning, okay? That's going to be our stream. And I just want to start, though, with a little quote from Paramahansa Yogananda, since you all have made your way onto this beautiful synergetic experience that we have on 8 a.m. Pacific time every morning, God willing, right? If He keeps our Wi Fi up. But anyway, I want to just read to you a quote from Yogananda Ji this morning just to get us started, because I thought it was just simple. He said, "There is no real life, no real freedom without God." Whatever you are doing or thinking, this is huge. Whatever you are doing or thinking, God must always be uppermost in our minds. Whatever we are doing or thinking, God must always be uppermost in our minds. That's our the if the Olympics coming on and they light the torch, right? That the Olympic Games are on. Well, your Olympian time to be your extraordinary you is happening. And how can it happen the quickest and the easiest and the flawless and just make it just sublime for you? Is that you, well, as I just said, whatever we are doing or thinking, God must always be uppermost in our minds. When we are in tune with God, all our goals will be accomplished. So just think a little bit ahead of what your plans are for today. And if your mind then goes to the divine, and you have this companion with you, and you have this blessing with you, you have the extraordinary with you, then you know that your whatever those plans are going to be accomplished, but not through your doing. We've been talking a lot about that recently. Not through our own doing, my dear. Let's hand over. I can't get enough of reminding ourselves about this. The controls of today's extraordinariness, which could also mean chaos and craziness and depression and some, crazy things happening that's not in the game plan today. It makes it, even that much more interesting. So just have a little silent prayer or where you sit with all this of what we just said, if it made any sense at all, and just have an extraordinary moment with the idea that whatever you are doing or thinking, God is always uppermost in your mind. Wow. And we talked about yesterday not running the red light. We stop now in the name of love, my dear, to make sure that our designated driver of the car of our life is is at the steering wheel. And then the light turns green and God takes over. But stop. Don't run the red lights anymore. Let's make sure. Let's make sure, my dears. Look at the world. I'll tell you, what we are up to, I do believe, is creating such beautiful vibrations and frequencies. And we're doing our part. We're doing our part, my dears. When we, you know, when we go cosmic, let's say, when we are that extraordinary us. And I have a little reading, but first I just want you to have your own connection, to not give your power away to what I'm saying or what you're hearing. This is always this is always the case that we are ourselves cosmic beings. We are ourselves God in drag. We are ourselves everything we've ever wanted and then some. As St. Catherine of Genoa once said, my me is God, nor do I recognize any other me but God herself, but God himself. Yeah, that's what we need to kind of focus on right now. If that feels right for you, or you have another take on it, it's all perfect, my dears. You're extraordinary. Please accept this right now before I give the reading, if you want to, if that feels right for you, to accept that you are extraordinary. That means extraordinary. That means supernatural. That means a God being. God is dressed up as you in this physical disguise. Reclaim that me of yours. My me is God, nor do I recognize any other me but God herself. And so, and so if you're getting a little inkling, if you're getting a little something tingling, a little, something that's just a little bit of above ordinary for yourself right now, I want to bring to you an angle that we can understand what I'm trying to say right now. This is you know what the name of this post is that I'm going to share with you and you can contemplate and feel and imbibe if you want. It's called The Day the Gurus Fall. The day the gurus, we have many gurus. We have sport gurus. We have we have teachers, gurus. We have, a guru that could even be your thinking mind, your ego thinking mind. That could be a guru that you have. But today is the day, or in this little stream this morning, it's the day all those gurus fall. Now, here's a description of some of those gurus. You'll like this, Mary and Alex. You'll like this. We worship and idolize gurus, movie stars, musicians, spiritual teachers, people who we think do great things. We worship and idolize. not necessarily because they are extraordinary, but because you know why we worship those things and keep our minds on something other than our magnificent self, our magnificent soul self? You know why we get distracted along these lines that I'm sharing with you this morning? It's not that they are so extraordinary. It's because we haven't yet stepped into our own extraordinariness. Our own. It's because we haven't yet stepped into our own extraordinariness. Look at yourself right now in the mirror. All these sacred mirrors point us back to our own ordinary, intimate, unperformable lives, meaning we're not performing, we're not acting, we're not pretending that we know something, right? And on and on and on, that we are this identity, this false identity. So these mirrors of thinking other things are extraordinary and it leaves us empty handed at that moment that you depend see it in someone else. Now let's take it in this moment. See if you can feel something extraordinary about yourself, because I tell you, you are. I'll tell you, there's no one like you, as Yogananda says. There's no one that can be you, my dears. Just want you to get a little inkling of how special you are this morning. So we're not performing, we're being, which turns out to be where everything real has always been, is our being. Yes, ordinary life becomes more interesting where so-called our ordinariness, our ordinary lives, are taking out the trash every darn week, right? Can you imagine all the things you do every single week, right? All the duties and this and that. And you might think, well, that's a drag. But no, your ordinary life becomes because you are extraordinary, right? If you want to focus on the real you, the me is God, nor do I recognize any other me but God himself. Our ordinary life becomes more interesting than any movie, stage, or social media feed ever was. All right. And just thank you. Thank you for letting this in. Thank you for participating in the uniqueness of you right now. And I'll go on with this reading as you keep kind of seeing yourself differently right now, completely different. Whatever you're thinking right now is extraordinary, my dears, because it's you. It's your unique you. Whatever are your sensations is a unique you. Enjoy them. Enjoy them, accept them, embrace them, love them. Remember who you are. You are divinity in the flesh. You are a magnificent, omnipresent, infinite soul. So let's begin to step into our own extraordinariness, okay? When we are disconnected from our own, here's another word for extraordinariness: aliveness. Aliveness. When we forget how extraordinary we are, we lose prana, we lose energy, we lose trust, we lose faith. When we are disconnected from our own extraordinariness, and we could use the word aliveness. I like that. Aliveness. Your extraordinariness is aliveness. It brings you alive. It sparks you in a way that only their soul can spark you, right? But when we're disconnected from our aliveness, our intimacy, courage, grief, joy, and love, our intimacy, into me I see, right? Our intimacy, our courage, our grief, all things that make life so-called ordinary, joy and love. You know what we do when we're disconnected from our own aliveness of those categories, intimacy with ourselves, courage about ourselves, going through the grief stages ourselves, joy and love. You know what we do? Instead, we project those qualities outwards. We project those qualities outward, the intimacy outward. You know, there it goes to the guru. There it goes to somebody who's wearing an ochre robe, somebody that just seems to be better than we are because we still think we're just little human, whatever. I'm not going to go there. So we project that that old mindset that we want to get rid of today, that old mindset that I'm just an ordinary dude, right? I'm just an ordinary girl. I'm an ordinary, you know, office assistant, whatever. Someone else appears to be more real, more alive than we do. Just remember that. Whenever we appear, and someone else appears to be more real, more alive than we do, they seem, they, and God's pointing, no, you, and you're going, they are that way, they are that way, they are that. You just put all of your potential into someone else's energy field, right? When we need every drop of our specialness, we need every drop of our awareness of how unique we are, of how God we are, right? So these others, when we project, seem to embody truth of freedom, confidence, enlightenment, passion that we cannot yet reach inside ourselves. Someone else embodies truth. The guru, the ochre robe people, of freedom, the confidence, the enlightenment, passion that we cannot yet reach inside ourselves. We can't keep God on hold, my dears. It's like you can't afford to lose your peace. We can't afford, we have got to follow this simple quote that I said in the beginning, where whatever you are doing or thinking, God must always be uppermost in your mind. Whatever, whatever, all right? So that's why we're turning within. You know, all of this madness in our world right now is to help us turn within and find our own extraordinariness, our own aliveness, which has left out all these beautiful divine qualities that we already possess. Yeah, we already possess as souls. Harmonize your thoughts and desires, Yogananda says, with the all fulfilling realities. Harmonize your thoughts and desires with the all fulfilling realities you already possess in your soul. Wow, that you already possess. Harmonize them. Let's go into me, I see. All right. Let's see what else this reading has. I thought it was very unique and provocative at this stage of our, we could say, evolution. So when we give this all away, our extraordinariness, my dears, and think it's somebody else, we cannot yet reach inside ourselves. It's like our nervous system mistakes representation for reality and says, that is where the life is. That is what I need to be doing. That is how I need to kind of be. I need to be that person. I need to do that. I need to do that. Or whatever they're saying to us. Then we lose ourselves. Well, we want to lose ourselves, all right. We want to in Sapikalpa Samadhi Yoga, you will drown yourself in yourself. A little chant from Yogananda. In Nirvikalpa Samadhi Yoga, those are the two high nirvanas, so to speak. In In Nirkalpa Samadhi Yoga, we will find ourselves in ourselves. In Salpikalpa Samadhi Yoga, we will drown ourselves. So it's okay to drown yourself in the way we're talking about this morning, in the extraordinariness, in the divinity that we are, in this pulsing infinite spirit bliss that we are. We can go on and on about how wonderful we truly are. So that's kind of the mission we have this morning. But usually our nervous system mistakes representation with all this other stuff going on outwardly, that we say, that's where life is. That's what I want. I want to be like her, whatever. On screens, stages, podcasts, retreats, and on social media, our gurus and saviors speak in perfect sentences, don't they? And perfect teachings. Often certainty, radiant presence, laugh and cry right on cue, and appear endlessly alive. This is our projection. That's what we're looking out for to, right? It makes sense, doesn't it? But we mistake performance for being, right? We mistake performance. Sometimes we just are so, caught up in the existentials, the things that make things in physical life seem so real. We're so caught up that we are performing most of the time. We have a false identity and we're pretending we are that. This goes on to say, as we mature, are you following me, my dears? Are you following this? As we mature, as we truly awaken, this whole spell breaks. Yeah, this whole spell breaks. This making these projections and letting all our life force go out, when really the only one projection is to look within and be ultimately surprised by how amazingly divine you are, how God is with you always, how he talks to you, how he walks with you, how he breathes you, how he plans your day. We're really on to something, I think, in these streams now. Well, it's where we need to be, I do believe. So as we mature, as we truly awaken, this whole spell breaks. Good news. We stop outsourcing our aliveness. Wow. We stop outsourcing our aliveness. We no longer need someone else to feel deeply for us. Right? It's like, I got to go listen to this guy, or I'm going to do this, follow this teacher, or whatever. I'm just saying, generally speaking, right? It doesn't make anything right or wrong, right? We're beyond the right and wrong. Let's go into this field and just be happy and laughing and dancing. And what did Frederick Nietzsche said? He said, the people who look at people dancing don't hear the music like they do, right? And they think they're crazy. So we can be crazy. So when we stop outsourcing our aliveness, we no longer need someone else to feel deeply for us, live courageously for us, or stand in deep truth on our behalf. God darn, this is good. And then we see them clearly. And then we see them clearly. They are just human beings. Even the holiest of holy ones. They are talented, they are flawed, they're brilliant, they're often lonely, they're often performing, they're often carrying the projections of thousands of unlived lives. What? What? You got to admit, we get some great material, don't we? Don't we get to share some great possibilities when we come online together, my dears? Do you feel it? Otherwise, I don't think you'd be sitting here. But listen, but they are no longer gods, all right? They are no longer our saviors, okay? They are just sacred mirrors. The guru is just a sacred mirror. The last thing he wants is for you to be like he is. You know what I'm saying? to mimic him and to only use his his wisdom. He's saying, no, 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 I'm just a mirror. I'm pointing you back to you, and you can do more than I did. That's what Christ said. You can do more than I did. No, don't lose the perspective on this, my dears. Don't lose it. The true teachers are only pointing you back to yourself. Perhaps love is the process of me leading you gently back to yourself. We could say that about the great teachers that we have and we honor and we love and we want to follow and we want to, be like them. And these sacred mirrors point us back. You know what it points us back to? Our ordinary, intimate, unperformable lives. Don't you love it? Which turns out to be where everything real has always been, in our ordinary, intimate, unperformable lives. Can you imagine accepting the ordinary now? It's laughable. It's laughable. And you can start laughing at yourself now. I often said that if you can laugh at yourself all the time, you're enlightened, right? We can laugh at ourselves at how the delusion has got us so whacked out. And now we're just learning slowly but surely, or listening or feeling or tuning in as best we can. Because if we can tune into that divine teacher that is within us, the guru within us, all of a sudden everything changes, my dears. Yes, ordinary life has always been the real that has always been, in the sense that we're embodied right now and we are talking about this. Yes, ordinary life becomes more interesting than any movie, stage, or social media feed ever was. So I'm going to let you turn within and see if you and the divine one can radically accept how extraordinary you are. And maybe even take these final moments that we're here to feel into how, whatever, if you got something out of this morning, one thing maybe, one nugget, how you're going to carry it, like carrying your own heart, like carrying the heart of someone else, like carrying the heart of all hearts, right? How you can see if you allow yourself to stop in the name of love to the red lights. The red lights are just there to stop you from your old tendencies, from your own giving away your power, from your own mistaken identity, right? That's the red light. I use it now all the time. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart, before my ego breaks my heart again, right? Think it over. But in this case, love it over, right? So we don't want to run the red lights anymore. We want to stop often, because that's the beginning part of the training of this extraordinariness and this aliveness that we have in, built in as our divinity. Always has been, always will be. There has never been a moment that has been out of sync with the divine majesty, glory, infinite, everlasting, beautiful self. There's never been a moment that has been not extraordinary. And now we know that we can be just as we are humanly, and more importantly, to be just as we are. In fact, high up, top priority, that we are divinity. I like to say, as people say, I'm just a human being having a divine experience, But I like to say, no, I'm a divine being having divine experiences. right? We're divine beings having divine experiences. So we thank you, O Spirit, for giving us this ability to show up together, this ability to even consider some new angles, some things that we may not have considered. And thank you for opening up our awareness. Thank you for giving us your power. Thank you for giving us your life. You know, it's not our life anyway, my dears. It's divine life. You are gifted with the opportunity while in a human form to finally get the purpose of reincarnation, of embodying a body. We're finally getting in touch with the real deal. So let's bring our palms together, my dears. We have a little uh, rubbing of that palm chakra, which I like to have said that we can do now. And just see if you can feel the difference in you. Feel if there's something in you now, or whatever, right? You know what I'm trying to say. Just see what is kind of changing in you and me right now. This is our part in this global transformational period of going in from 3D HD heavy delusion to 5D higher age living, my dears. Inhale the breath. Let's chant an Om and Om the world. Om. And let's, since we are the world, you know, says our good friend Jackson, right? We are the world, we are the children. So let's make sure we really put this home into our aliveness and our extraordinariness. Inhale the breath. Oh. Could you put your left hand on your heart before we do our mudra? Here's another one, but let's just put this left hand on the heart space and your right hand right at the spiritual eye point so that you can feel that your eye is just this single eye that is the truth eye, that the eye of intuition, the eye of extraordinary light, and a tunnel that leads to divine consciousness right here at the spiritual eye in this beautiful heart space. Absolutely aligned, absolutely aligned, absolutely divine. And don't worry about if you understood anything this morning or if you don't understand anything this morning and the day goes on and it turns out to be a very trying day. Don't worry. There's no need to worry, my dears, because you are who you are, and that is that, and that is it. We are that we are. All right, let's do our little mudra now. All right, thank you for that mudra. And let's just see through. Let's see through the mirror. Let's the sacred mirrors, right? Everybody is a mirror to us. As you see them, it's who you are. You see what you are. All right. So, but who are you? That's the question. Who are you being or are you performing? That's the big question. So we love. Let's wrap our arms around how much we care about these physical forms now and about the ordinary day, let's say, and taking out the trash today. I always look forward to that stuff. And you know, I've had my doodles now for 7, 8 years. And every time I feed them, it's like the most magical thing. Every time I feed them with all my love. That's why I do so many things with them. That's why I so feel they're God in drag in the doggy form, right? Anyway, do little things with extraordinary love, my dears. How's that? Little things today. And if you need to sweep up the house a little bit, or do something that is kind of really ordinary. Just let's be the extraordinary you in consciousness as you do that. All right. All right. So we care, and then everything is just going to unfold perfectly according to divine design. Oh my God. You know, are you almost kind of done thinking that you know something? I think we all are, or we wouldn't be sitting here right now. So when you have an empty mind, but and a filled heart, see, your heart won't fill to the gills unless we have an empty mind. When the mind is empty, now the heart fills up with everything we're talking about. All right. So thank you, everybody. Keep on shining, keep on calling your senators as we had that little chat yesterday. In fact, I'm going to, I think it's so healthy that we get to have a little time where if you want to, you can have a little share here because we're a little community and these are our peeps, these are our extraordinary aliveness beings of extraordinary amazingness. So, is everybody cool? Is everyone good? Kathleen, you happy as a clam at high tide right now?
Pretty much.
Pretty
Good
much.
morning.
Yeah. Well, good. Good. Just being here, we get vibed. We get vibed up just being here, right, Tara? Ricardo, you feeling it, man? Awesome, bro. Awesome. Me too. Big time. Lisa, Jim, yep, Ellen, thank you so much for your beautiful vibrations that you put out because you are those beautiful vibrations. Marty, May, Mary, Alex, thanks for coming on. Ryan G, who's just, 45 minutes from Minneapolis and she's in Minnesota, so we're sending tons of prayers to her and to our world, of course. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to have an extraordinary day. All right. I'll see you in the extraordinary us. Thank you. Love you. Aho.